everybody. I'm MoeChicken. Welcome to my stream. Yeah, so welcome to my stream. So I know I've been talking in streams recently about what I want to do for the next like secondary series to go alongside Dark Cloud 2. Still thinking it's probably either going to be Nancy Drew or Metal Gear. But I kind of didn't want to set up either one tonight. Both of those have to be on my regular computer, and I don't know. It's strange to say, but it's a lot easier for me to stream from a console than it is for me to stream from the computer. So I was casting around for things to do. I didn't really want to play Dark Cloud 2 tonight because I'm kind of lazy. So instead, we're going to be playing a game that I'm a big fan of, and I've been playing it a lot recently, and I just think it's fun. It's kind of a, I wouldn't say it's a chill game, but the way the content is not necessarily chill, but the way you play it is sort of chill. So because you just have to like repeat things a lot. So we'll just go ahead and get into it. Here we go. All right, so we are going to be playing Castlevania: Harmony of Despair. And let's see, can y'all hear it actually? Is there audio? It doesn't really sound like I'm not hearing anything on my end. Let's see. There's no audio. Give me a sec. Why can't I hear anything? Okay. Sounds like something's coming across. Alright, well, hopefully it works. Hopefully it works, you know. Alright, so this is Castlevania: Harmony of Despair. If you're not familiar, I think I talked about it before, but I'll go ahead and explain. This is a compilation game that was released for PSN back in the PS3 era. And the general shtick behind it is it's a bunch of, like, single Castlevania maps that you can go through as a variety of characters from the exploration-focused Castlevania games. So, so you can choose to play as a variety of people. Like you can play as Soma from Castlevania's Dawn of Sorrow. You can play as Alucard from Symphony of the Night. You can play as John and Charlotte from Portrait of Ruin. You can play as Shanoa from Order of Ecclesia. Richter from lots of games. Julius from Dawn of Sorrow, or Yoko from Dawn of Sorrow, and then Maria Renard, also from lots of games, or Simon Belmont from lots of games. And what's really fun is that a lot of them play differently. And so, like, you can really enjoy playing the same levels in a variety of different ways. Now, for this particular stream, I'm going to play a little bit of each character to just kind of show off everybody. So I guess we'll start with handsome boy Soma Cruz.
Move out.
Now Soma honestly is one of my least favorite characters because I have a hang-up on. Also, I played a little bit, like I mentioned before. I've been playing a lot on my own, so I already have a fair amount of equipment. But no one is going to be equipped. Wear a biker jacket, I guess. Put on a hat. Yeah, I want to see Soma Cruz wearing a monocle. That sounds funny. That sounds pretty funny. What do you want to put on your feet? Combat boots are good. All right. Cape. Benton raiment. Yeah. It is nighttime. This is one thing. There are these two items: the Artemisian ring, and I don't have one, but there's one called the Apollonian ring that radically raise your stats if it's nighttime or daytime. And since it is technically nighttime, it works well for me. I also have a moonstone that does the same thing, but a little less powerful. I have to do this for each character, so bear with me. And so you get defensive gear and you get offensive gear. I think right now I don't really have a whole lot available to me. In fact, I may not have anything available because I've never played as him. Okay, so we'll just go ahead and get into it. So, like I said, each character plays differently, and what's fun is that a lot of them, not all of them admittedly, but a lot of them are pretty accurate to their original game appearances. So if you've ever played Dawn of Sorrow, oh well, I guess I'll explain this. So this is the whole map. We have to get to the target. We are down here at the bottom left. And it's like a maze to get there, and there's like a bunch of monsters in the way. And it's just sort of fun. It like really this game is more about like getting treasure necessarily than beating the levels. So that's why I say it's kind of like, oh, there we go. Okay, so if you've ever played, I know I'm bouncing all over the place. Sorry about that. I'm excited to be playing this. If you've ever played Dawn of Sorrow, you know that Soma Cruz here is a descendant of, or Dawn or Aria of Sorrow for that matter. I actually like Aria of Sorrow more. But Soma Cruz here is a reincarnation of Dracula, and as a result of that, he actually has the ability to use the souls of various monsters. And so as you play as him, sometimes when you defeat an enemy, a soul will appear, and you can use it on your character. But just a minute ago, I got a yellow soul, which I believe is called I think they're called tactical souls. I think it's tactical, bullet, and blue. I don't remember what the third one is. But anyway, yeah, so what you can do is now I can equip an enchantment soul. Enchantment, tactical, and bullet. That's what it is. So as a zombie will give me a resistance to poison. Yeah. And so with Soma in particular, your goal is to defeat as many monsters as possible and get as many souls as possible. Soma needs all the souls. And if I remember correctly, his powers get stronger based on how many souls he has, which is a little different from other characters. And it's part of what makes Soma very different to play as from most of the other characters. Soma's kind of special in a lot of ways. Yeah, I don't know. I've been wanting to play this for a while. I figure this, like, as long as I've still got this, streaming PS3 hooked up, we can just kind of play PSN games whenever, and I figured this would be a good option for that. So, that is that. And so we just have to get to the game as Soma Cruz. And it's a good time. So, as you'll, like when I said your character or your strength increases as you level up, with Soma, what that means, or with all the characters, what that means is that your stats improve. So, Soma's kind of a slow improver at first, mostly just because the only way you can really improve is through luck, if you just happen to get souls. And as y'all have seen, I actually haven't gotten any souls since that first one. With other characters, the way that they improve is they actually improve by using their skills, which sounds cool. It's really good at first, and then it very rapidly becomes kind of not as good. Now, one of my gripes about Soma here is honestly based on, I guess you could say jealousy. I guess that would be the best way to describe my strange feelings for Soma Cruz. Soma Cruz, I feel like, is kind of the darling of the Castlevania series. I feel like when he came out, he was sort of supposed to be the golden boy, kind of. Like they had Alucard as sort of the golden boy for a long time. And then Soma came out, and he's sort of like the modern golden boy, I guess you could say. And in this game, it feels as though the developers put more effort into making Soma accurate to his original character design than like anyone else. And I'll explain a little bit. What I mean by that is that all of the other characters, while they do... Oh, I got another one. Yeah, I got Ghost. So let's go see what Ghost does. With all the other characters, they are... Okay, not all of them, actually. There's one exception, and that's Shanoa, but let's see what we got. So that is a tactical soul. Personal skill. Okay, it's supposed to be a tactical soul. Ghost. Summons a ghost as a familiar. Okay. So, there. Now I just have a friend. Look at him go. Yeah, with most of the characters have some resemblance to their original original gameplay style. So, take for example Alucard. Alucard is actually very close to what he was like in Symphony of the Night. His strength is primarily based on the weapons he's using. He primarily uses swords. In fact, I think he can only use weapons that showed up in Symphony of the Night, which is kind of cool. Got a strawberry. That's very helpful. And he has his various spells from Symphony of the Night. Now, he does not have his bat form, and he has a limited version of the mist form from Symphony of the Night. But for the most part, he's pretty close with a few minor tweaks. Charlotte is similar to her, she's similar to her Portrait of Ruin iteration, except that whereas in Portrait of Ruin she purchased or found spells, in this game she's sort of like a blue mage from Final Fantasy. Like, she has to absorb spells from enemies to, I got a 3-man soul. Okay, so it's a red one, that's a bullet soul. Meaning that that's like the bone I've got right now. This is just absorbing my MP. It's not doing anything. Oh geez. No. Okay. So she's a little bit different. Also, a lot of her spells are kind of weaker. Like, she doesn't have explosion or chain lightning, which were like some of her strongest spells from Portrait of Ruin. Jonathan is, unfortunately, he's still got a whole heck of a lot of sub-weapons, which is cool, and that's accurate to Portrait of Ruin. But he can only use the Vampire Killer, which completely defeats one of the major aspects of his character art from Portrait of Ruin, namely that he didn't use the Vampire Killer for most of the game because he didn't want to rely on it. So, like, all of the flexibility that Jonathan used to have from being able to equip different weapons, that's all gone. He can only use the Vampire Killer, which I think is kind of dumb, personally. And then poor Shanoa. Shanoa got the worst of it. All of her glyphs completely gone. She doesn't use glyphs anymore. She just has weapons, and only like 5 of them in the game. And then she has I think 7 special abilities available in the entire game, and that's it. Shanoa really got the shaft in this game, and it's kind of a shame. Soma, on the other hand, has billions of abilities and can use any weapon and fights pretty much exactly like he was in Dawn of Sorrow. So it's just I don't know, man, it's frustrating. I get frustrated with how much more Soma seems to get than anyone else in the game. Whatever, maybe they made him first and then made all the other ones afterward. Now, Soma is also able to use more glitches than anyone else in the game because he has so many skills. Before I get into that, one of the cool things about Harmony of Despair, it was originally designed, I believe it was originally envisioned to be a multiplayer experience. As a result, there's a lot of places where you can go multiple ways to get to the same location. I can either choose to go up and follow the path upward to get to Gargoth up there, or I can actually turn around and go back down where I came from. And there, I just opened a door with that switch over there. So I will go back that way because I actually prefer that route. It's a neat little thing. I like how this game is set up in terms of letting you go through the level in different ways. Not every level has it. Some levels have it to a lesser degree, whatever. But it's still cool. So anyway, yeah, I get frustrated with Soma, mostly just because I feel like he stole the opportunity to have fun things from everyone else, just because he's pretty. Stupid Soma. All right, I got new weapons. I think I'm gonna switch to the short sword actually, because it's faster. Short sword and the knife. There we go. The short sword, and you got a knife. There we go. It's much faster. It's a little bit. It's weaker than the axe, but it is faster, so that's nice. Mostly, I just get sort of frustrated. I think a large part of what I get frustrated about is that John and Charlotte are my favorite 2 characters in Castlevania. Just in general, I really like John and Charlotte. And they both kind of got nerfed, and I hate that. It's no, come on, man. If you're going to be true to, Alucard and Soma, you can't be true to John and Charlotte. Why not? And then, like, so I think in the original release of this game, there were only 5 characters available. I think it was Alucard, Soma, John, Charlotte, and Shinoa. And I've heard the idea that the reason that Jonathan can only use the whip is because he was originally envisioned as the, like, resident Belmont character, even though he's not a Belmont, he's Morris. And so they were like, well, we want to make sure that the player uses the whip. So we're going to make it so that you can only use the whip, despite the fact that Soma can also get a whip to use. Because again, Soma gets everything. Soma is allowed to have everything. I don't know. I'm just frustrated because, like, no, I want John and Charlotte to be good too. What the heck? What was I saying? Oh yeah, so originally I think they just had 5 characters. Since after sort of the initial release, they gave a couple of extra characters who were sort of like, I guess, they're I was gonna say they're like clones of existing characters. They are and they're not. You got Julius Belmont, who is decidedly a Belmont, definitely a Belmont. You know, he fights with a whip, and he fights with a whip, and the basic sub-weapons, pretty standard stuff. You got Yoko Belnadas, who is kind of, she's like, sort of like a watered-down Charlotte. She has 3 spells, and she only ever gets 3 spells. But they're pretty powerful spells, and because of the way the leveling up system works in this game, they level up pretty quick. So she gets strong pretty quick. You also get Maria Renard as a child, who is, she's a strange sort of like combination character. She's a mage and a physical character. I think she only has like 6 spells, 5 spells. It must be 5 because she's got her she has her 4 sacred beasts and then I think 1 other thing. And then she throws doves. So, again, accurate for her original appellation, but, you know. And then, who else do you get? You get Richter, who is also decidedly a Belmont. You get Simon Belmont, who is kind of like a fun, weird character, because it's Simon Belmont from Castlevania 1, not Simon Belmont from, like, Castlevania Chronicles. And so, he's, like, tiny. He's, like, way shorter than everyone else. And, like, he has, like, fewer animations and stuff. It's very silly to play as Simon. And then they also gave us, Getsu Fuma, who is a character from the unreleased in America Japanese game Getsu Fumaden. Oh jeez. And he's also kind of like Simon in that he's like a short character, but he was really cool because, like, when I first played this game, I mean, I had never heard of Getsu Fumaden. I didn't know anything about it. And it was just sort of like who is this weird, like, samurai man? And he even got his own level, too. It's cool. So, anyway, this is Gargoth. If you're familiar with Dawn of Sorrow, you probably recognize this guy. He's kind of a tragic figure, actually. Like, according to the monster, like the bestiary, this was originally like a holy creature. He was supposed to be like a holy beast that the bad guys from Aria of Sorrow like tortured until he became this. So they basically took like I don't know if you want to call this thing an angel, but effectively like an angel, like a sacred beast, and they just like abused and beat him until he turned into this. And yeah, that's kind of sad. it's kind of sad when you know that. We're still gonna kill him though. He's still bad now. It's like in Castlevania 64 when you find out that, like, you find the Fernandez warrior, who apparently was originally supposed to be not Yoko, Sifa Belnades, from Castlevania 3. And the idea was that, like, Dracula was supposed to have, like, captured her, turned her into a vampire, and tortured her until her soul, you know, completely warped, and she became wholly obsessed with blood, which is a much darker outcome than, you know, the Fernandez warrior who's just someone we don't know. Someone we don't know who never has an official name. I'm going to be talking an awful lot about Castlevania tonight, I'm sure. Just because I love the series, and I'm very sad that it's dead. I'm very sad that there aren't any more Castlevania games. Whatever, it happens. So you can actually break, like, the manacles on his legs if you hit him enough, but I did not succeed at doing so. There's another thing. I mentioned earlier the idea that, like, games like this, like PlayStation Network games that I can just kind of, like, have on my PS3, my streaming PS3, if anybody has, like, suggestions for other games that are sort of, like, fun, wind-down kind of games, I don't know if this is a good example of a wind-down game, but stuff I could play is, like, because when I've watched, like, other people stream before, I've seen sometimes where they, like, play one game for most of the stream, and then at the end they play, like, one other thing. Like, a good example is how Brutal Moose used to play Wheel of Fortune at the end of streams, just as kind of like a wind-down game. I like that concept, that idea of, like, having something else to go to when you're kind of, like, you know, ready to, like, stop focusing necessarily, but want to kind of stick around some more. So, I'm going to be looking through PSN to see if I can find some cool ones, but always willing to take suggestions. Zap. There we go. I stabbed him in the knees long enough and he died. Good deal. Alright, so that's Soma. What do you get, Soma? A saber. Very nice. Keep in mind, most of these characters I'm going to be playing as are, like, level 1. So, no one's going to be very impressive. In fact, I might lose some of the levels because I'll be going to harder levels while still being level 1. But anyway. On to level 2. So the next person up is beautiful boy Alucard. Now, I have nothing bad to say about Alucard. I'm a big fan of Alucard. Gotta use ketchup and mustard Alucard. So handsome. As I said before, he pretty much fights like he does in Symphony of the Night. He uses swords and maces and, like, basically standard, like, melee weapons. I'm gonna use the saber. He can also use shields, which is interesting. So, a little minor thing, but he can use shields. And a mace will be fine. Yeah, he has his mist form by default. It's mostly just a dodge move. It turns you into mist for like a second, and then you turn back out of it. And I have Summon Spirit as my basic move. Defensive gear. Alucard can also wear a biker's jacket because it's very attractive. Put on this. I do like the idea of Alucard in a monocle. It's pretty funny. Very proper. I'm interested in this. Benton Raiment, because it raises my luck. I need that. Artemisian ring. Yep. Moonstone. Yep. And potions, please. Which is it? Now, conveniently, everybody shares the same potions. So, hey, Lori. Welcome. I'm just playing Castlevania tonight. Mostly. I'm just playing Castlevania tonight. But I hope you enjoy it. Welcome. So we got ketchup and mustard Alucard here. He's going to be going to fight the Lord of Unseen Strings, the Puppet Master. There he is.
You too shall be my puppets.
So a weird thing about the Puppet Master is, like, he's the only boss in the game that gets, like, an introduction, and I don't really know why. Like, I don't know, like, it makes me wonder if maybe this was one of the first levels they made, and, they just kind of were like, they made this introduction, and then for everyone else, they're like, that's too much trouble. We're just gonna let the game play out. So yeah, Alucard here, he can use his spells. Unlike in Symphony of the Night, they're not button combinations, which is good for me because I'm not good at those, as you will know if you played my, or if you watched my Symphony of the Night playthrough. He's got his mist form, which again just allows him to kind of briefly turn to mist and dodge things. He does have his wolf form, kind of. He doesn't have his bat form though. But he is one of the easiest characters to play as in terms of just like, you know, in terms of just like basic gameplay. If you just want a character who can just kind of get through levels, Alucard's a good option. Well, now that I have an audience here, Lori, welcome. Have you ever played Castlevania? Any of them? Do you have any familiarity with the series? But I have talked already and said that I'm a big fan of the whole series, so I've played a lot of them. Well, honestly, the only ones I didn't like were the ones that basically killed the series. I didn't really like the Lords of Shadow ones. I didn't like the vibe. They were very dark, and I wasn't into that very much.
Come forth. Come forth.
Hello, moldy corpse. Kill, kill, kill. Nope. Bash. Come in. Bash. Oh, don't go in. Really cool, like, quartz up there. It's nice. Also, I haven't mentioned it yet. The music's cool. All the songs in this game are remixes of Castlevania songs, and they're good. This is a remix of the cathedral song from I think Aria of Sorrow, or no, Dawn of Sorrow. It was Dawn of Sorrow that had it be. Actually, that's a good point. Lori, can you tell me if you can hear the game opening? I think the audio should be fine, but I want to check just to make sure. Please let me know. Look, it's Yoko! Surely it's the actual Yoko. There's no reason why she wouldn't be here. Oops, nope, it's a succubus.
Delicious.
Get out of here, succubus. Temptress, be gone with ye! She can't help it. She loves ketchup and mustard Alucard so much. Who wouldn't love ketchup and mustard Alucard? He looks delicious. So I used to play this game all the time back when it first came out. This game was actually my first introduction to online gaming, if you'll believe that. I really didn't play any internet-based or like even LAN-based online games. Hey, Hot Dog Sweet, welcome. I didn't really play any sort of like online games until I played this one. And me and my friends who also like Castlevania, we would just like get together on weeknights and just kind of go through levels. It was a really nice time in my life, and I kind of wish more people still played this game, or that they made another one. That would be nice. Oh. Yes, I already put the question to Lori, Hot Dog, but I will ask you too. Have you played Castlevania? Any of them? Please let me know your experience with the series. I always like to know that sort of thing. It helps me to know how much I have to explain. Because y'all know me. I have a weird obsession with explaining things. Many of them. Is this the fourth? This is in fact I think it's actually 6-player. But yes, this is the online game Harmony of Despair, and I love it. And we're gonna be playing it for tonight because I didn't want to set up the MSX, nor did I want to set up the Nancy Drew game, and so I'm playing this instead. So there you go. I was feeling particularly lazy today because I had a very strange afternoon. I woke up with, or I had something of an awful headache earlier this afternoon, and like so much so that I was like, I asked my boss if I could leave work early, and he was like, yeah, you're not, we got nothing pressing today. If you're not feeling good, go ahead and head home. And so I went home, and then I just like slept all afternoon. I just fell asleep on the couch all afternoon. So it's a little strange. Am I going to do the Drew? I think so. Yeah. Also, welcome, Cybernair. I am planning to do a Nancy Drew. I'm going to do Ghosts of Thornton Hall. I think that'll be fun. But not tonight. Maybe we'll start that on Would y'all be interested in seeing that or Metal Gear first? I was originally gonna do Metal Gear first, but if y'all are more interested in doing the Druid, we could do that first. That's fine. Like, my hesitation for doing the Drew first is that I felt like it would be too close to Dark Cloud 2. But if that's actually a sort of a more popular idea, then we can go with that. Honestly, no one has really bit on the Metal Gear thing, so, you know, if that's not something anyone cares about, I might just play that on my own. Metal Gear Original. I want to play the MSX version because I have never seen it before. I have heard for many years that the MSX Metal Gear is the better experience, and I'm more familiar with the NES one than I am with the MSX one, so I'm kind of curious what the differences would be like. But if no one cares, then I'll just play it on my own. Oh, you'd be into it? Okay, good. Hey, Eden's here too. Everybody's here. Look at all these wonderful friends. Thank you all for coming out. Appreciate that. Watch me play Castlevania as delicious ketchup and mustard Alucard. So handsome. So delicious. Well, I'm glad to hear that at least one person would be interested in the Metal Gear option. I just find myself really, like, I mean, that's something that I've talked about a lot, this idea that I'm always curious about, like, other versions of games, like other versions of things that I'm familiar with, because I'm always curious, like, what the differences are. You know, it's like, how was it different? Like, what about the MSX Metal Gear makes it universally acclaimed such that, like, the NES one is like, oh, that's the bad one. It's like, well, why? What is it about that makes it the bad one? I don't know. So I'm curious. All I really know about the MSX one is that it takes place entirely in Outer Heaven. Everybody's pink? Doggone it, why is everybody pink again? I don't understand why that keeps happening. Like, for some reason, a lot of times when people show up, everyone is just pink. I don't know why. Hope y'all enjoy being pink. I don't know what causes it, but there you go, you're all pink. You chose pink? Oh. I didn't know you could choose your color. That's neat. Let's see, have I got anything for him yet? I don't think I have. Oh, I got a Basilard, right? I got a Basilard. Oh, that's not really better. Let's take the mace then. Yeah. So this game does actually have different attack types. Like, it has elements for spells, but it also has elements for physical attacks. So there's like slashing, which is, you know, both swords and stuff. You like pink and you're good with it. Okay, cool. I don't know why it happens. I mean, it doesn't happen every stream, but for some streams it's just sort of like, no, everyone is pink now. No one gets to choose. Everyone's pink. I don't know why. Just chooses sometimes. Yeah, so you got slashing, which is like most bladed weapons. You've got concussive? What's the word I'm looking for? Not concussive. Blunt. Blunt is the word I'm looking for. You got blunt, which is like maces, and you've got piercing, which is spears and guns, which I think only Soma has access to because Soma is the favorite. Is there a thing here? No. There's a thing at the bottom of one staircase, but I can't remember what it is. And so with Alucard in particular, since you have access to 2 weapons, it's good to have both a slashing and a melee, if you can. Or slashing and a blunt. Always gotta have a blunt if you're playing as Alucard.
There you go.
You stay away, lady. You and your naked except for boots? She's just wearing boots? She's completely naked except for boots. It reminds me of a Dilbert cartoon I saw a long time ago where it was like some woman talking to, I think, Dogbert, and she was like, she said the most sexy thing is a short fat man in dark socks. Which is a choice, I suppose.
Come forth.
Yeah, sometimes you don't need clothes, but you always need socks, because your feet might get cold. Let's see. I got some pudding. That's cool. Hello, tree ant. Now, the downside to playing as Alucard is that he's got reliable attacks, but you're also not going to change very much because he's pretty much governed by his equipment. So if you get like good equipment, you're probably going to stay with that equipment. So you hate socks? Really? That's interesting. Honestly, I seldom wear socks except when I go to bed. My feet get cold at night, so I will often put on socks at night. But yeah, I don't wear them much otherwise. Do your feet get like sweaty? That's usually my complaint, is I don't like when my feet get like sweaty. I hate that. Let me check that rapier. Is that any better than what I've got? Rip. Annie loves socks and just stole yours. Frick it, Annie. Stealing socks. Nope, it's not better than what I got. Alright. Annie demands more socks.
Come forth.
Whack. So now that we have more people, I'm going to request the survey again. How many of you have played Castlevania games? Do you have oh jeez. Okay, cool. Do you have background with the series? I am a big fan of this series, and I'm sad that it is dead. I'm sad that the game about the living dead is finally officially dead. Darn you, Konami. I mean, at least we got Bloodstained, and hopefully we get another one, but still. So sad. I loved these games. They were so good. They were so much fun. I was talking on Discord earlier today about the soundtrack to Harmony of Dissonance, and how, like, when I first played Harmony of Dissonance, I was struck by the soundtrack, and I remember being really hung up on some of the songs. I mean, some of the songs in any game are stinkers, and Harmony of Dissonance, for whatever reason, I got stuck on the stinkers. And you've watched your partner play. Well, once again, your partner's coming through for you. That's a good game. Yeah, I got kind of stuck in the stinkers, but when I went back and played it for my channel, I was like, you know, some of these songs are pretty good. Like Just's theme, it's a good song. So, Just's theme, the Cathedral theme, there's some good songs. Some good songs, good music. Alright, so we've been working our way around. We're about to get to the boss in just a sec. Gotta eat this California roll. Actually, funny thing, eating that California roll is kind of a bad move, because one of the things the game doesn't make as clear as it could is that when you eat food that you find in the level in this game, you get like a minor buff to something. He has good taste. I mean, he chose me. There you go, Eden. Absolutely true. Yeah, when you eat food, you get a minor buff to one of your stats. And it erases any existing buff. So eating that California roll actually removed the buff that I had gotten from the previous food, which was actually better. It was kind of a stupid move for me to eat it, because I'm about to fight a boss. There you go. Whoop. Whack. Whack. Alright, let's go fight the boss. He's this big scary face over here. It's the Puppet Master. His shtick is making puppets and trying to put them inside of those, what do you call those things? What? Iron Maidens. As you might expect, if it gets in the Iron Maiden, it's a bad time for Alucard. So we gotta try and break them anytime they show up. Now, it's not too hard. We're playing on normal right now, so it's not very hard on normal, but gosh darn if it's not hard on hard mode. He also does this, which is annoying. These little, like, dolls. If they touch you, they inflict you with the curse status ailment, which will completely remove your MP for a little while. Which is not a big deal for Alucard, but for anyone that uses, say, magic as their primary attack, like Yoko or Charlotte, you're pretty much dead in the water at that point. Because all of a sudden you can't do anything except use your basic attack, and it's not very strong. Speaking of not very strong, Alucard's basic attack right now is not very strong.
I need only place this puppet right inside here.
Whack, 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 whack. Okay, he starts to move after a little bit. So this is kind of the big, I guess, gimmick of the Puppet Master, is that throughout the stage you might have noticed I was putting crates in front of what do you call them? Those things. Keep forgetting the Iron Maidens. He will actually move across the level to one of the other Iron Maidens, and if you haven't closed them all off, you might be in trouble getting there before he arrives. But no need to worry, once he gets there, he'll be happy to bring you over as the puppet. Now he's just going to move again. I have to follow him. It's a bit of an annoying boss fight. It's really challenging on hard just because he takes a lot of hits and he wanders around a lot, so it's a nuisance, but eh. Ow. As you might expect, not every level was created equal in this game. Some levels are more fun than others. This is one of the less fun levels. What's a little annoying, though, is that, I haven't explained the treasure system. I know I'm talking a lot. I know I'm, like, bouncing all over the place. That's what I'm going to do. I'm introducing a new game. I'm going to talk a lot about mechanics. The way that the treasure works in this game is kind of strange. There are, I think, 5 different types of treasure chests. You have brown, like wooden ones, like basic wooden treasure chests. You have blue treasure chests. You have green treasure chests. Okay, now there must be 6. Green treasure chest. You have red treasure chests, and you have purple treasure chests, and you have golden treasure chests. The brown ones are the most basic. They usually have pretty standard, like, low-tier equipment, like food, very early level stuff, basic stuff, really, really ordinary things. They're also the only ones that can turn into mimics in the hard mode, so they can turn into monsters sometimes. So they're a bit of a danger to get a brown treasure chest if you're not prepared. This is bad. I didn't beat him up there. Uh-oh. 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 Okay, good. The red treasure chests always give you money. So you're pretty much guaranteed to always get money whenever you see a red treasure chest, which is nice. Blue treasure chests are a little bit funny. If you're playing with anyone else, blue treasure chests will always give you a water of life, which will allow you to revive another character. If you're not playing online mode, they just act like brown treasure chests. So, for me, they're pretty much just brown treasure chests. Green treasure chests are kind of like, will give you mid-tier equipment. Purple treasure chests will give you high-tier equipment, and then gold treasure chests only show up after you defeat the boss, and they will give you, like, specialized drops, basically. Which can be like treasure, they can be equipment, they can be food, they can be abilities, or they can be like unique items. Now, the way that the equipment, like the way that the treasure chests work, is that each treasure chest has kind of like a list of things you can potentially get. And what you get is based on your character and also based on your character's current luck stat. So having higher luck allows you to get the rare items that you might expect. This guy's taking for freaking ever because I'm level 1. It's taken a long time to beat this stupid thing. It's kind of like a roulette. There's like a little bit of randomness built into it. So it's pretty normal to play the same levels over and over again as different characters to try and get better stuff. Which is why at the beginning of this stream I mentioned that it's sort of like a chill game in that you play through it kind of the same way over and over again. Oh boy, this guy's still alive. This is taking forever. I'm so sorry this is taking forever. Maybe we shouldn't play as level 1 characters. But it's fun. It's fun. And one of the reasons I used to enjoy playing as... Oh, there we go. Finally. Okay, so he's dead. He dies. And then we get golden treasure chest right over here. And what will Alucard get? He gets... copper plate. That's pretty disappointing. Is this like a Castlevania roguelike? It's kind of like a Castlevania roguelite. I mean, you get to keep everything. Except also the levels aren't really randomized. The actual level layouts are the same. The only thing that's really roguelite about it is the treasure, honestly. But it is still fun. Anyway, that's Alucard. So on to the next level, the end of Chaos. We will be playing as my boy, John Boy from Texas. Hell yeah. I will choose Shady John Boy. Yeah. I love Jonathan Morris. I love John and Charlotte. They're my favorites. Do I have any other? I got other stuff too. Good. So John Boy uses he's stuck with the vampire killer, which I hate. But he can use various sub weapons. Now that's both good and bad. It's good because it lends him a lot of variety in terms of how he plays. You can do a lot of different things as John Boy. It's bad because Jonathan Morris in a ballroom mask is a hilarious idea to me. If you don't know this character, he's a very brash, headstrong young man. And so the idea of him wearing like a ballroom mask is somehow hilarious to me. And a biker's jacket and combat boots. Ballroom mask, biker's jacket, combat boots. So sexy. Yeah, so because he has so many sub-weapons, it means that he has a lot of variety to the way you can play as John, which is good. The downside is that because his level ups are based off of using equipment. So as he uses his abilities, they level up and his stats improve. That's great. The downside is since he has more sub abilities than anyone else, beyond like the initial burst of like he levels up fast at the beginning and then really slows down as you go along. So he's hard to max out. He's very difficult to max out at the higher end. But I love him because I love Jonathan. So he's one of the only characters I've actually ever mastered in this game. Basically, him and Charlotte are the only characters I mastered. Now, as I'm playing as John, you'll notice I'm going to be using a heck of a lot more sub-abilities. The reason for that is that I want to use them as much as possible so I can level them up as much as possible. Which means I'm probably not even going to use the Vampire Killer that much. I'm only going to use it pretty much when I'm out of MP. Or if I'm not fighting an enemy, I guess. Now, this level's, again, kind of neat. Its gimmick is that that guy, the target, Chaos over there, is kind of he's huge and he's kind of in the middle of the room. And so we have to find a way to get over to Chaos and then start the fight. And once we do, well, you'll see. You'll see what happens once we start the fight with Chaos. But I just really like how a lot of the levels have a lot of variety to them. Like, it's such a good game. Why can't they make another one? Ugh, it's so frustrating to me. I guess because it's not a pachinko game from the Rumble. Oh, I haven't explained martial arts yet. So, as a way of making the whip users a little bit more fun to play with, they also included martial arts you can find. So these are actual like button combination abilities that allow you to do special things. When you start with Jonathan, the only one you have is block. I can reduce incoming damage by holding R. That's all he can do for now. But later on, he'll get more abilities, and as he does, he will have new things he can do, which is exciting. So, yeah. I hope y'all don't mind me playing this, honestly. I really like this game. As I said before, I used to play it all the time with friends. It was like a very nice time in my life, so there's a lot of nostalgia for it as well. I don't know. I like it. And getting to play from kind of like square one again, because like on my regular PS3, like my non-streaming PS3, I'm a lot further along, and I don't know. As with a lot of games that involve like luck and grinding, as you kind of get near the end and like the real like benefits come much slower, it becomes less fun when it's just like grinding for really like for minutia. At the beginning, like everything is new, and so like all the abilities are new, and like everything you get is like, oh, I got that, and it's exciting. It's like at the beginning of playing like a Zelda randomizer. You know, it's like every treasure chest you open, everything you get is so exciting, and then by the end, it's just like, okay, well, it's just the regular game now. That's how I feel about this game too. Is it's more fun early on when you don't have a whole lot of stuff. Ha! Oh, I thought that would kill him. Oops. There we go. Ah! Unfortunately, John Boy's MP regen isn't very good yet. I'm kind of having to wait a little bit to get MP back, which is annoying. Annoying. But such is life. It is definitely worth it to use your sub-weapons whenever you can. So, I will be using them as much as I can, because, again, as his sub-weapons increase in level, so too does he, his attack, and his HP, and everything gets stronger, so... it's strange to say, but there's not really a whole lot of reason to use the Vampire Killer. It's like... I mean, it's stronger, I guess, than a lot of the sub-weapons, and it's a reliable melee attack, but... it doesn't level you up at all. Like, defeating enemies with the Vampire Killer does nothing for you. You might as well you might as well not even be fighting them at that point. But if you use your sub-weapons, you level up. Doggone it. Eh. Another fun thing about sub-weapon leveling in this game is that as your sub-weapons get stronger, like the animation and effectiveness increases too. So like right now with my knife, I only throw one. As the level increases with it, I will throw more per shot, basically. That's kind of cool. And as you might expect, you can whip Diddley in this game, so no worries there. You can whip Diddley. Look at me go. That's what this is called, by the way. It's called Whip Diddley. That's the name of this. It's important. You gotta diddle your whip. There you go. I mean, they got a lot of things right. I just wish they hadn't, you know, nerfed some of the characters. Like, let John... Even if they just let him use, like, a small subset of other weapons, you know? Because that was a major part of his character, was the idea that he couldn't use the Vampire Killer. Not only was he not comfortable using it, he didn't want to use it. Because he felt like you know, his dad intentionally prevented him from using it. I don't know. As someone who really likes the story of the Castlevania games, I'm a little disappointed that they kind of dropped the ball on some of the characters, but whatever, I still love the game. Still love the game. Not gonna complain too much. Plus, they made Charlotte into a blue mage, and I do love blue magic, so there was that. For all that it can be incredibly frustrating to get spells in this game. You'll see when I play as her. when I switch to Charlotte, you'll see what her abilities are like. Someday I'm gonna play Portrait of Ruin on my channel because I love Portrait of Ruin. That is my favorite Castlevania game. Love Portrait of Ruin. One other kind of fun thing, I haven't mentioned it yet, but a fun thing that they did for this game is that all of the assets are from existing Castlevania games. Mostly the DS ones, like this. Wait a minute, hang on. Maybe is that a lie? That may be a lie. This level's assets might be the only one that are not based on an existing thing. I can't remember if that. I want to say that this is what. I got Bone Cold Justice. Nice. I want to say this is based on the World of Chaos from Dawn of Sorrow, but I don't know now that I'm saying it. Most of them, I think, are from existing games, so that's kind of cool. I like that. Wait for it. Oh, yeah! If you hold up for a while, the character will do silly things, which is fine. I need that jelly thing. Hello, sir. Well, you're not what I meant to kill, but it's fine. Ha! So I'm also curious. Now, earlier on, Hot Dog mentioned the idea that this was the 4-player game. So it sounds like at the very least they're familiar. But did anyone else ever play this game? Curious about that too. As I've said numerous times, I played a lot with friends, but I feel like it just kind of like faded away after that, you know? Like pretty much after the PSN era that nobody really talked about it anymore. And I know that they released something that I think was supposed to be like a spiritual successor to this game on iOS, and I've made my complaints about that already, but suffice it to say, it wasn't what I was hoping for when I saw it was coming out. Something kind of fun, you see this switch here? This switch activates that giant hammer, and you can actually bash the boss in the face with it. Played Symphony of the Night and the GBA ones and maybe some DS ones. Okay, so you've played a lot of the regular games. Got it. Do you have a favorite, Hot Dog? I've already mentioned my favorite. And for that matter, have you played... Oh, I got a paper airplane! Nice! That's a sub-weapon, if you'll believe that. I can now throw paper airplanes at enemies! Awesome! We unfortunately... I don't think we get the No, you do! I was gonna say, I don't think we get the cream pie attack that you get from Portrait Room, but I actually think they do have the cream pie attack in this game, which is great! Probably Circle of the Moon for the time it was released. Yeah, I feel like Circle of the Moon was one that I got a bad impression of it the first time I played it, but like looking back, there are a lot of things I like about it. Like I like Nathan Graves. I like the card system is kind of cool, and I think it looked good. All right, so we activated him. Good news. Chaos is effing gigantic. Look at how big this boss is. Look at me down there. That's a big boss. It's a very large boss. So he's got like 3 points where he can be damaged. His knee, his heart, and his face. And you only have to defeat 2 of them for him to go down permanently. So now I will not actually be fighting him much initially because I still want to get those purple treasure chests up there, and I need him to break the blocks to get to it. But man, the first time I saw this, I thought this was awesome. Like you get to fight you basically get to fight a kaiju as a person in this game. That's great. It's so neat. Look at the size of this stupid thing. It's huge. I love it. and it just like smashes through terrain. It's awesome. So what I need for it to do though is I need for it to go backwards. To smash through those get out of here. To smash through those blocks. So I'm actually gonna go underneath it to drag it backwards. Because I need for it to do some things for me. Alright, Chaos, come back over here. Ah, it's so cool looking. Look at that thing. It's just a big mess of bones and viscera. Awesome. Catch. Oh, so how's everybody doing today? Y'all having a good Tuesday? I already mentioned how weird my Tuesday was. I hope so. I hope you're having a good Tuesday. Recently on one of the Discords I'm involved with, we've got a person who keeps, they keep streaming cartoons on Tuesday at like 5 o'clock my time. And I love it. They like keep streaming like old cartoons and it's awesome. So I was watching that earlier. I was very excited. We've been watching, the original season of Yu-Gi-Oh! So like the season 0 before they were doing like the card game stuff. There we go. Good job, man. I gotta get back there now. They've been streaming that and then also Gem from I think the late 80s. And I love both of them for different reasons. It's so much fun. I love watching me some old cartoons. Alright, so once I get this treasure chest, I'll start actually fighting the boss. Once I get the treasure, I will start fighting the boss. Y'all know how I am. Oh, no, I'm going to try and hit him. I'm going to try and hit him in the face. Let's try and use the hammer, because it's funny. Let's try and use the hammer, because it's silly. So to use the hammer, I got to get back up to the hammer, so give me a sec. So the funny thing, when I first played this game, I didn't realize you could change the camera angle. Like, you change the camera angle like doing R3. And I thought you had to play... Like, the game defaults to the furthest magnification. I thought this is how you had to play the game. I thought you had to play the game all, like, scaled out like this. And I'm like, this is terrible. I was, like, really upset when I first played it. It's like, no! Konami, how could you do this to us? But no, you can zoom in. You can definitely zoom in. That said, I'm playing kind of zoomed out so I can keep track of chaos, but yeah. Alright, so I go over here. I gotta get to the switch. These stupid things. They're just there to annoy you. Alright, let's see. So, bash him in the face. Bam! Oh, it's so awesome when you get it right. Oh, I love that. Smack him in the face. Smack this giant demon monster in the face. Oh, we really got lucky. It's very easy to accidentally miss him, so that was good luck, really. All right, so his knee's done. So now I need to get either the face or the heart. And the easiest way to do that, there's a little platform directly above me, and that puts you pretty much even with his face. So that's probably what I'm going to try to do. I got an axe. Nice. Now, unfortunately, unlike Soma and Alucard, getting more of the same like ability doesn't do anything for John. It's entirely based on how much he uses it. So getting that doesn't really help me because I already had the axe, but that is how you get sub weapons. Hey! I didn't activate him. Weird. He's up there waiting for me. I can't keep him waiting. Hey, Chaos. How you doing? In your face. Nope. In your face. Wacko Dace. Good kick. Dodge! Huh. Oh, John boy, why is your MP regen so slowly? It's so slow. Ow. Ha! 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 Fine, I'll get back in the face. Ha! Ha! Oh, come on. Ha!
Have a nice death.
Screw you, dude! Alright, that's John Boy. Man, I love playing as Jonathan. Jonathan Morris, one of my favorites. What did I get? Got a Just Towel Core. Nice. Alright, so we'll see who's next. I think it's going to be Charlotte, or is it Shanoa? Who's next? I'm not going to play as Julius. I'm gonna play the main characters first. Next is Shanoa. So Shanoa's, as you might expect, I'm going to play as Green Shanoa because she looks the best. As you might expect from her being Shanoa, she's a bit of a tragic character. She's, of all of the characters in the game, she is definitely the one who was the most nerfed in terms of her abilities. Now, the good news, I guess, about Shanoa is that the people who, like, the community who played this game found out about I don't know if you want to call it an exploit, maybe just a trick. Maybe trick would be a good way to put it. Called backdash canceling, that allows Shanoa to be incredibly powerful. The problem is, I can't do it. I never learned to do it right. I have a friend who can do it. I have a friend who could do it really well. But that's not me. I can't do it really well. I'm not very good at it. The general idea behind it is that if you backdash and then push, like, and then duck, like backdash and duck, it cancels the attack, but it still causes the attack damage to happen. So you, like, attack with both hands, backdash, cancel, attack with both hands, backdash, cancel, and you can do an incredible amount of DPS over a very short amount of time if you do it right. And Shanoa is, I think, is either Shanoa or Soma who are the best at doing that. Going on to the esquisse of violence. It's the portrait room one. It's the portrait room one, let's say. Now the way Shanoa gets stronger, she has a relatively small subset of abilities. But she gets these abilities in kind of an unusual way. If you're familiar with, also she can do this dance. It's important. Look at her go. Dance, 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 dance. All right, moving on. If you're familiar with Order of Ecclesia, you may know that Shanoa's thing is that she is a what is it called? What's a binder? What is the term for what she is? Basically, she's got like she's got a sweet tattoo on her back that allows her to absorb demonic energy effectively in the form of what are called glyphs. And, oh nice, did you see that? I killed that dude by reflecting the bone from the skeleton. Nice. Yeah, so she can, like, absorb demonic energy through her back tap, and then use it as spells later on. That's how she uses her abilities in Order of Ecclesia, and sure enough, in this game, you also do the same. You find enemies who use glyphs, and you absorb them. Now, when I say she is a tragic character, in the original Order of Ecclesia, everything was glyphs. So like your weapons were glyphs, your defensive abilities were glyphs, your magic abilities were glyphs, and you also had this ability to like combine glyphs to do like super moves. None of that exists in the game. None of that. You could also put like fire, like you could put anything on like I'm pushing square, triangle, square, triangle. In the original game, you could put whatever you wanted on whichever hand you wanted, which gave you like a lot of variety to the things you could do. And she doesn't have any of that. They took all of that away from Shanoa for some reason. And so as a result, she's just kind of a not great melee character until you find out about backdash canceling. But anyway, the way you get glyphs is you have to find an enemy that has one. The only enemies that ever use them are these things. The, what are they called? Salem Witch? Linan Shida? Something like that. Anyway, they will do this. Do it. There's a glyph. I just absorb the glyph. And then I get Fulgur. So now I can use Fulgur, which is a lightning spell. Which is good. And per that enemy, they only ever have one spell, so you can kill them once you get the first spell. I don't know. Shanoa's like, I never really bothered to get good with Shanoa, because again, I never learned how to backdash cancel. And so I don't really have that much experience playing as Shanoa. I just think it's sad that, you know, they couldn't bother to make her character, like they put so much effort into making Soma as close as possible to his in-game version, and then for like Shanoa, they're just like, whatever, we'll give her 5 spells and call it a day. And it's like, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Don't be like that. Don't be like that to my girl Shanoa. She's been through enough. She had to kill her brother. Alright, so I got Fulgur. Put Fulgur on. Oh, there we go. Fulgur is a lightning spell. I think it actually locks onto enemies too. Yeah. But it's a pretty good one. It's a pretty solid spell. Does she have anything? Hang on, I'm gonna go talk to that lady. Madam, do you have a spell for me? Or do you just have more Fulgur? Hey, what you got? Poke. What you got? Give me a spell. Oh, it's just Fulgur again. Never mind. Usually, all of the Salem witches, I can't remember what their real name is, they were called Salem witches in Symphony of the Night, so that's what I mostly know them as. Most of the Salem witches in a single level will have the same ability. It's not guaranteed, but it usually winds up being the case. So. Hello. Hello, witch. Zap, 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 zap. Again, in the original game, you could like put lightning and a sword weapon on your hands and like combine them to do amazing things, but not in this game. Shanoa really got the shaft in this game. For some reason, they're just like, we hate Shanoa. No. No Shanoa. Well, let me see if I can try and do the backdash canceling. So it's like, let's see. It's like that that motion I was doing right there, where you're like kind of like never been good at it. So you like attack, dash, attack, backdash, and then duck is how you're supposed to do it. I can't do it. Whatever. Maybe sometime I can get like one of my friends on here to play like a level with me, and I'll be able to show you what proper backdash canceling can do, because it can be pretty amazing if you're good at it. I'm just not. So there we go. Unrelated or semi-related, this is an online game. So if this looks cool to anyone and you happen to have a PlayStation 3, you can join me. Just let me know. I don't mind playing online with people. I would enjoy it, actually. I love playing games online with friends, so. But unfortunately, you have to have a PS3. You have to have access to the game on PlayStation Network, which is its own hassle. I had to find out how you put money on a PlayStation account nowadays. It's still online, yeah. You can still play it. It's still available. You just have to have the game. I think it's still available. I mean, again, I don't know anyone who plays it anymore, but the online mode is still available, and it signs you. It insists on your being signed into PlayStation Network to play it. So. I think it's still available. Really, the biggest challenge of it is just figuring out how to buy it off of PlayStation Network, because they're weird about it now. To explain, the way I had to do it is I had to log into my PSN account on... I haven't even shown off the thing that makes Shanoa interesting, or one of the things that makes Shanoa interesting. So she has the Magnus ability from Order of Ecclesia, which, if you're familiar with that, allows her to grab onto magnet points and kind of like fling herself. So, yeah, when the game was originally conceived, the idea was that Shanoa's weakness in terms of her relative number of abilities was tempered by the fact that she had better agility than anyone else. In practice, that turns out to not be the case because of a few certain glitches that Soma has access to. But there are certain places that Shanoa can get to easier than anyone else. Oh, anyway, yeah. So the way the way I had to buy this game was I had to log into my account on PlayStation Network and then put a certain amount of credits on my my account and then sign into PlayStation Network through the PS3 to buy it. It was a little strange, but I did get there eventually. I really wanted to have this game on my streaming PS3, so I worked it out. Oh, doggone it, you cursed me. Curse you. I'm going to do the Shanoa pats her butt dance. Pat, pat, pat. Look at her hand. Pat, 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 pat. It's very silly. Shanoa can pat her butt. That's like the first couple of frames of her like hold up animation as she moves her hand forward and just because it looks like she's patting herself. Good job, Shanoa. Pat, pat. She's like, I did it. Hooray. Pat, pat. Whee! Whee! And one of the reasons I really like this particular level is that this level uses the tile set from Portrait of Ruin, which, as I have said, is my favorite. And if this game was still available on like PlayStation 5, I would definitely still be playing it on my current PlayStation. I love this game. It's so good. I don't know if it's just good because I played it a lot, or if it's good because it's just good. You know? I've talked before about that, how, like, I think the idea of... I've heard people use ideas like... I've heard people use the term nostalgia as a dismissal, sort of. Like, people are like, oh, you're just nostalgic, as though your opinion doesn't matter because you played it when you were young. That kind of idea. I sort of hate that. I just feel like it's a way to try to abuse someone's opinion. But it is true that nostalgia shapes a lot of your early impressions of things. And, like, the things that we are nostalgic for were instrumental in affecting our opinions. And so I don't think it's invalid to like something because of nostalgia, because that just means that during your formative years, your opinions were affected by that thing. That's why I feel like nostalgia is not like a detrimental thing. Like, enjoying a game when you're young doesn't mean that you can't legitimately enjoy it when you're older. I sort of hate that argument. Be like, oh, you're just nostalgic. It's like, no, I like it because I played it when I was a kid. Here are the reasons why. They're no less valid than your complaints. Anyway, I do think it's fun though. It's also a game that I just played a lot because so much of it involves replaying, you know, the same levels to get treasure. As I mentioned earlier, like each treasure is sort of pulled from a table of different things you can get. So, you know, the nicer things, the like less common things, you're gonna have to play the levels over and over again to get. That's why it's a good game to play like a little bit at a time, you know. Why it was such a good online game. You just show up, play a couple of rounds with your friends, and then stop. And you might get something cool. But it's not as profitable as pachinko machines, so. I expressed how frustrated I am with that. I don't even really know it's true. I've heard that idea. The idea that Konami as a company determined it was more financially effective for them to stop making regular video games as their primary source of revenue and shift to primarily pachinko games as a means of making money. And that's why Konami's Konami only makes a few certain series, one of which is not Castlevania, is because it's not as profitable. I get it. I mean, they're a company, but it's just such a disappointing thing. It's like if there was like you found out that like, I don't know, like a movie company you really liked found out that it was more profitable to make like Geico commercials, and so they just stopped making movies because they wanted to make Geico commercials. You know, it's like, oh really? That's what we're gonna do now? Movies aren't important, we just need more Geico commercials. And I just chose Geico because it's the first thing I thought of. I don't have a particular issue with Geico commercials, but it's just, it's sad. You know, it's like, y'all were so good. Y'all were so good in the Nintendo era. You had some of the best 8-bit music in the entire era. And now, just pachinko machines. But again, I don't even know that's true. I've just heard it's true. Open. Now, Shanoa can actually get better melee attacks. She has 4 available to her. She has Confodere, which is this one. It's her basic, like, rapier attack. It's also her weakest one, as you might expect. She has Numa, which is a wind attack, which is kind of weird. It's the closest in the game you get to a combination ability, in that if you use 2 of them immediately after each other, they actually turn into a larger attack. She has La Pista, which is like a giant stone fist, and she has the 2 Custos abilities, which are basically 2 big dogs. She can summon like 2 big dogs from her hands. It's pretty cool. Unfortunately, she can only get those from particular levels, and this is not a level where she can get anything, so. I'm just kind of talking over Browner here. This is the ultimate villain of Portrait of Ruin. He's a painter. It's actually kind of a neat idea. The idea is that Portrait of Ruin takes place during I think 1940 maybe? It takes place during World War II. And the idea is that Browner's family, or Browner was a normal like painter who during World War I, his family died, like from the chaos of World War I. And it affected him so strongly that he actually like became imbued with so much evil that he became a vampire. moreover, he actually became a vampire of the same, like, quality as Dracula. So, like, throughout the Castlevania series, Dracula is basically treated like Satan. You know, he's treated as though he's the ultimate evil in the world. And this Browner dude just got so pissed off that his family died that he became like Dracula. It's kind of impressive, honestly. So I think Browner's kind of a cool character. Doggone it. But I also like the idea that he's like a painter, you know? He's dead now. See you later, dude. Alright, what do you got for me? Stone Mask. Is that a JoJo's reference? It is. Actually, it is a direct reference to JoJo's. Alright, that was Shanoa. Who's next? I think the next one is one of my other favorites. Dear Miss Charlotte Olin, the greatest witch of her time. I'm going to play as Red Mage Charlotte Olin. So, if you're not familiar, Charlotte and Jonathan are the two protagonists of Portrait of Ruin. And what was cool about Portrait of Ruin in particular is that it was the first game, I think the only game, to have dual characters. So like at any time you could switch between either Charlotte or Jonathan. And I really liked that mechanic. Put on that Lilith corset, super sexy. Let's see, what do we got? I'm trying to boost her intelligence as much as I can. Looks like I don't have any shoes that make me smarter, so I'll just put on these Prima shoes. That's fine. That's normal, right? Benton Raymond. Always gotta wear the Benton Raymond. You need luck in this game. Luck is what gets you better drops, so you want luck if you can get it. I passed up the bonus, didn't I? Yeah, now, as I said earlier, Charlotte is a little strange. She gets abilities by absorbing attacks from enemies. So she's got an ability where if you hold down R1, she puts up like a barrier in front of her. And as enemy attacks that she can absorb hit that barrier, there's a chance for her to absorb the attack and gain it as an ability she can use. Which means Charlotte here is great in any level you play her in, because just about every level has something she can learn, which is cool. I like that. Also, she can be very sassy. Look at her go. Sass, 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 sass. And pose! It's fun. Another kind of fun thing about Charlotte's attack is that when she first starts off, she's got a very basic attack. It's kind of like she holds out her book and a sword comes out of it. As she levels up, that changes, which is fun. Now she's a little bit different from some of the other characters. She's kind of like she's like Alucard in that her level ups are based on how many of each spell she has. So like as she absorbs more spells, she gets stronger. Right, so this is a good example. So Death there is shooting death sights at me. I'm gonna block them. I didn't get anything, but if I had absorbed that, I would have been able to then use death sights. Oh, here they come again. Come on. Oh, go on. These little imps also have an ability I can learn. Oh, he actually used it, but he was in the wall, so it didn't happen. That's annoying. And then look around for any more things to absorb. Hey, Death, do your thing again. You know that it's a spell you can potentially absorb if, when the spell hits the shield, it kind of like shudders like that. That means it's something you can absorb. Hey, man. Come on. Doggone it. Now, Charlotte's Charlotte's block is kind of both good and bad. It is actually a completely functional shield. Like, it blocks anything that it can block will be completely blocked. The downside is it is oh, there we go. So okay, I got Nightmare, so now I can use the spell Nightmare. Yeah, that's right. You can't actually learn the same spell multiple times from the same enemy. So like, even though since I got a Nightmare from this Mordecai, I actually can't get another one. So we just gotta kill him now. Eventually. Yeah, so her shield does function as a shield, but it also eats away at MP as you use it. It costs 10 MP to activate, and then 1 MP like every second or something. So that's a little frustrating if there's like a lot of things you want to try to absorb. This guy, I think, has a spell I can get, right? Ow. It's not him kicking me. Doggone it. Freaking Gurkha Master. Use your magic spell. Good job, buddy. Use your magic spell in a place where I can actually absorb it, please. No. Stupid sea demon. Charlotte's just the best. I love Charlotte. Look at her, like, she does this thing when she stands up where she holds her dress down. It's cute. It's cute. I love it. They put so much effort into making her very feminine. Come on! Give me your spell! This is the annoying thing about playing as Charlotte, is that, like, it's all random whether or not you actually get the spell. Yeah, there we go. Ice Fang. Nice. Okay, cool. Fire. I need to find a book stand where I can equip these abilities. Is there one over here? There is one down. I'm gonna go down there and get it. I really like the music in this game. Singing along with the music is always solid content. I love making fun of my own content. I don't know why. I just really like doing it. Oh, self-abuse. Oh wait, there we go. Go that way. Never mind. Back. Hey, Death. Do that thing again? Come on, man. Give me your spell. Loser. He just kind of harasses you like this throughout the entire level. Well, throughout the beginning of the level. He actually stops like halfway through for some reason, but at the beginning of the level, he just shows up and keeps on spitting death sides at you. Very frustrating. Oh, there's our first mimic. Yeah, only the brown chests can turn into these, so you never have to worry about with the higher level chests. But you just turn into mimics. Hey, man. Doggone it, dude! Give me your stupid spell. So annoying. Still no. Ugh. Just like I've given you plenty of opportunities to get it at this point. It's really on you for not understanding. Well, that's fair, Death. You're right. Alright, let's see. So, offensive. Now I have Nightmare and Ice Fang. Yeah, I got more spells now. Ice Fang. I got Nightmare. It's cool, right? I don't know. I love blue magic. Like, I think the idea of, like, learning spells by, like, studying monsters and then gaining them, I think is a really cool idea. Ow, right in the face. She just stood there. She's like, I'm safe at this distance. Ah! my face! My beautiful face! There, finally! Alright, screw you, dude. I don't have to bother with you anymore. Death side. Oh, something I haven't mentioned yet. One of the challenges to playing as Charlotte and Yoko, the two dedicated mages, is they can't down kick. You might have noticed me doing it as one of the other characters earlier, but other characters can when they jump, you can push the down an attack to do a little kick. It was originally intended as just sort of a basic attack, but in the game, it allows you to bounce off of enemies' heads, which allows you to reach certain places you're not actually supposed to be able to reach. It's actually one of the things that makes Shanoa a little less impressive, is that, like, since other people can do that, a lot of that, those like special mobility areas are kind of like removed from her, which is unfortunate for Shanoa, but you know. Luck. What was I talking about? I don't know, I'm just yammering on. I'm just talking because I love this game. You know it is. Just talking a lot because I really like this game. Again, her spells don't actually get stronger through use, so... Oh, doggone it! I forgot that. That's a... Those skeleton musketeers are actually, an ability you can learn. Alright, these guys haven't moved. Got it! I got one of them. Only one, though. Doggone it. Alright, y'all are too dangerous to play around with. I'm kind of losing a lot of health here. So I think that's my first time using an item, right? You can equip items to help yourself out. Usually you pretty much just want to equip potions. And probably only really super potions as the game goes along. But for now, I can still use high potions because my characters are kind of weak enough. Let's see, are you the one that I want to get a spell from? Oh, jeez. That almost killed me. Another potion, please, thank you. Do you have it? No, you don't. These stupid ladies. They just keep saying, I see you, I see you. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care if you see me. Doggone it. Missed. Ah, Charlotte's so cool. I love John and Charlotte. They need another game. I love John and Charlotte. The best. I think I just really liked the idea of having two characters in a platform exploration game. Where you're like that's actually because of Portrait of Ruin. I came up with a game idea based on that, where like you have sort of two characters to play as that you can use different like classes for, and so in order to like tackle levels, you can kind of decide. It's like, all right, I want this subset and I want this subset, and I want to be able to switch between them. I think it could be a lot of fun. And I'm kind of surprised that they didn't really... Well, the only other Castlevania game they had after that was Order of Ecclesia, and that was completely different, so that's probably why. I think the Harpy can actually teach me a spell. I think the Harpy is a spell. Do you have a spell, Harpy? Let me get rid of this lady. Use your spell. I think you've got something I can learn, right? Hey. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Feather Blades. Awesome. That's another ability for me. It's time to kill another Harpy. Death to Harpy. Oh, alluring ride is here. This. How do I delete people? Yeah! I can moderate things now. I finally learned how to do it. Aren't you proud of me? Finally learned how to moderate things. Yay! Pretty nice name though, Alluring Blades for a bot. You know? There's that good content again where I just kind of sing the song. Do, 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 do. And we're about to fight Death himself. We're about to kill Death, so that's always a good time. The Belmont family obsession with killing Death. What extra stuff can mods do? I think you could just moderate content and like I think all you can do as a mod is delete comments and time people out. But I don't actually know how to do the second one. All I really needed to do in terms of like learning how to do mod stuff was figure out how to delete bots, because that's really all I cared to learn. I don't have such an audience that like I need to time people out unless y'all get really troublesome. Please don't do that. Yeah, moderator achievement unlocked. Whoa. This may not go so great for Charlotte. She's not very strong yet, and yeah, this might go very badly for her. I'll try to beat him, but I don't know. I'm using abilities like Feather Blades right now. Oh geez, this is bad. Blocking. No. Ow. Oh, that's bad. Whoop. It looks like Ice Fang is actually the biggest bang for my buck here. Charlotte's definitely a character that gets a lot better the more you use her. Like, when she starts off, she's very, very weak. But she can get super powerful, especially with some of the later abilities. She's one of the only characters that learns a healing spell. So she can actually have a spell that can heal herself and others. Actually, as I understand it, like, this game was originally released on Xbox Live Arcade. And when they re-released it for PS3, they actually made some significant changes to some of the characters. Like, in particular, both Charlotte and Maria Reynard were updated to basically weaken both of them. Both of them got weakened, if I remember correctly. In terms of Charlotte, what they did was they made it so that the healing spell was a lot less effective than it originally was. Oh jeez, I'm probably gonna lose. I have very little health. Which kind of sucks. I don't like. Or no, I don't think they made it weaker. I think what they did was they made it cost more MP. Like, I think originally it cost like 50 maybe, and I think they increased it like 150 or something stupid like that. Because I want to say that when she was originally released, she was like way overpowered in terms of like keeping a party alive. Oh, jeez. Okay, hang on. Blocking time. Bruh. I wish my MP regen was better. Oh no, not this again. Blocking time. Doggone it! Oh, jeez. I mean, in her defense, she's trying to kill death. You know, it's kind of reasonable that it would be difficult, right? Did you see him snap when he summoned them? What a cool guy. What a cool guy Death is. Oh, I have 6 health. I'm so gonna die. No. If I pull this out, it will be very impressive. I will woot, perhaps. I might even let out a woot. Nope, nope, other way, other way. Oh no, no, this is bad. This is bad. Get away! Fireball! You stay over there, Death. Woo! Oh no, not this. Bad timing for that. Oh, that's the other move. That's a dangerous move right there. All right. Hang on. Die! Got me. Nuts. Death is the Fonz incarnate. Yeah. Well, that's Charlotte. Man, I was close. I felt like I was close, but I honestly, to make Charlotte useful, you do need to have more spells than that. Like, I just don't have enough abilities for her yet. All right, we're almost up against time. I'll play as one more character, and we will go and try and kill Dracula himself. So now we got to fight Dracula, and who else will we fight Dracula as than Simon Belmont? See, it's an 8-bit Simon Belmont. Let's go, Pink Simon! Whoa! All right, I played a little bit as Simon, not a whole lot. Here we go. Time to go kill Dracula. So a funny thing about Simon is, as you might expect, he's shorter than everyone else. So like, his standard height is actually ducking height for some things. Here we go. Go, Pink Simon! So Simon is like Jonathan, where he becomes stronger by using his sub-weapons, so... He's also just really fun to play as because, like, he has so many fewer animations than everyone else. It's just sort of silly to play as him. Look at me dance. Look at me dance in my pink boots. Pink boots. You think you can defeat Simon Belmont? Do you know who I am? It is exactly NES Simon, and it's wonderful. Dance, dance, dance. I think they added this. Like, I don't think that's based on any existing sprite. I think they added the kicking sprites for Simon. It's really funny. I don't know. Again, this was originally a DLC character, so you didn't get him in the regular game. But he's fun to play as. Have y'all enjoyed this? Again, I would like to play more of this as just kind of like a casual game. But I mean, it is just sort of it's going through the same levels over and over again, so it would be kind of like a just fooling around like nothing stream, but I like it. I think it's fun. And again, if anybody wants to play with me, I do think it's still available online. You just have to have it. You get the game, you can play it. Smack the Drac. I just noticed you said that. I like that. Hello, lady. I hope you like shorter men. She couldn't handle Pink Simon. No woman can. Also, I want to say as he levels up, his whip gets longer. I think that's how his level ups show up, is his whip just gets longer. I mean, to a certain point, yes, but it is sort of funny that it just sort of gets longer. I'm playing it on PS3 right now. So, I was talking about it before. In order to get it to work on PS3, you're gonna have, you have to add funds to your PlayStation Network account through the internet. Like, you have to log on to PlayStation Online or whatever and, add funds directly, because you can't do it through the system anymore. But once you do that, all you have to do is go buy it on the PlayStation Store. And then you can play with me, I think. I haven't done it in so many years, I don't know if... I think it's still available, but... It would be a fun game to play with other people. Because you can talk to people, too. So you can, how you do it? How you do it? There's a way to talk to people, but I don't remember what it is. Anyway, there we go, yeah. Say sorry. Important to be able to say sorry. Oh, jeez. It's a fun game. I don't know. I wanted to play it at least once so that y'all could see it, because I think that it's a fun game, deserves attention, that kind of thing. And I've heard disparaging things about it, like this idea that it was like a cash grab, or it was just kind of a nothing game. I don't know. I get where they're coming from with that. You know, it wasn't what... when it first came out, it actually wasn't what I was hoping it would be. I was hoping it would have, a story mode, like a main campaign. It doesn't have that. It's really just an online game. Or it's really intended as just sort of like a part... If you want to put it that way, a Castlevania party game. It's still fun. You've been playing Skyrim? Really? How's that been going? I never played Skyrim. I've actually never played a Bethesda game. Well, I played Home Alone for the NES, which was a Bethesda game, but I've never played one of their Elder Scrolls games. Thanks for the interest, at least, Cyber. At least you cared to find out. I appreciate that. Thank you, Fred. Gentlemen, please. I'm just one Pink Simon. There's only so much I can do. reason I had in my head that you were playing something else recently, though. Oh, you love the Elder Scrolls games, and it's your first time playing that one? Has it been good? I know that Skyrim was a big deal when it came out and, like, stayed relevant for a long time. I think the only one I ever tried to play, or had any experience playing, was Oblivion, I think. I had friends who were really into Morrowind, because from what I understand, Morrowind is very, it's very loose. You like it so far, it's brutal. That, like, my friends were way into making, like, potions and stuff in Morrowind and, like, doing things to, like, break the system. I remember one time, like, my friend showed me I think it was like a jumping potion he made that allowed him to jump so far that the game had to stop and load new areas before he landed. Like, he would jump and then the game would, like, lag out and, like, have to load a new area before he landed, which is silly, but pretty entertaining. Like the Elder Scrolls games have always been like Elder Scrolls and Fallout have always seemed interesting to me. I just never bothered to actually try them out. Ah. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. There we go. The cross. The power of the Lord. Dead. Exploitable chaos. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Pizza! Hooray! Hello, sir. The annoying thing about these final guards is that pretty, like, almost without exception, the only damage any character can ever do is 1 damage at a time. There are a couple of characters that can do more than 1 with particularly extreme attacks, but for the most part, you're stuck doing 1 damage. So it's really more about DPS with these guys. You just want a character that can attack quickly or hit multiple times. That's why Simon's good, because he can use Holy Water, which works very well in that regard. Admittedly, I think it would have been fun if they had given him, like, well, I was gonna say if they had given him special Holy Water that behaved more like Holy Water did in Castlevania 1, but they actually do that, so never mind. That is actually a thing. There's a hidden thing there, I think, right? Yeah, there we go. Break the ceiling. Stop, dude, I'm doing things. Come on, break. Ugh. Gotta break the ceiling. I need to keep him alive, too, because I need his help for something. Yeah, here we go. Alright, get over here, dude. Bounce. That's what I'm talking about when I said that, Charlotte and Yoko have a downside to their being mages. They can't do the little kicky kick. And so there are a lot of places they can't get up to as a result. Kind of games where you might go to sleep and wake up being robbed. Yeah. That's interesting. I don't know. I think what always intrigued me about the those games is like allowing yourself to get really invested and wait for it. Konami Man. There he is. Konami Man. Getting like really invested and like getting into the world, I think that sounds cool. I just wasn't ever willing to do the time investment. Hello, Dracula. It's me, Simon Belmont. Hello. Do you remember me? I met you in like 1500. That was rude of him. Catch. If you want to be a cool guy, you always gotta catch the cross when you throw it. That's how you're a cool guy. A friend of mine taught me that many years ago. Want to be a cool guy? Catch the cross when you throw it. Yeah. Oh, that was really funny. There is an FF Tactics level of flavor text in these games. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I love flavor text. I don't know, that's the kind of stuff I love. World building, aesthetics, character designs, all that stuff. I love that stuff in video games. Oh, nuts, I didn't catch it. Guess I'm not a cool guy. I need more MP. Catch. Speaking of FF Tactics, that's another one that I've considered playing on here. Like, I've considered playing the PlayStation Final Fantasy games. Like, the one I was thinking of playing first was FF8, just because it's been so long since I played it. But I wouldn't mind playing like Tactics or 7 or 9, you know. If y'all want to see them. Again, as always, I take requests, and I'm interested in showing y'all stuff you actually want to watch. Not just stuff that I want to indulge myself in. I'll do plenty of that regardless, but, you know, if there are things you want to see, let me know. Dodge! Hitting him in the knee over and over again is really funny. He's just like, ow! Ow! Stop! Ow! Ow. Simon, stop it! Cut it out! Oh, these things. These things hit you, they cause curse, which is annoying. It removes my already terrible MP regen. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Okay, good. Good. Made it.
This is not the end. It is just the beginning. Gaze upon my dark form.
Okay. Oh no, it's his dark form! So something very funny about this, all of that is actually just his chair.
Demonic
You can see him in the middle of it, just sitting there. This is his final form from Symphony of the Night, when he didn't actually want to fight. He didn't like, because Alucard is his son. He didn't actually want to fight him, and so you can see Dracula's just standing there, and he's just sitting there in the middle. We're not actually fighting Dracula. We're fighting Dracula's chair right now, which is funny. What are you... Oh, okay, I was like, what are you doing, man? He's preparing to throw triangles at me. The deadly triangle attack. Doggone it. Oh, gee, oh, that's not the move we thought he was using. Okay. Actually, no, I don't even have to duck to get under those. Most characters have to duck to get under the hands, but he's so short he can just walk under it. That's silly. Ow! Stop! Stop! I'm timing down one. I'm cool. Ow! Demonic Megiddo! Amazing. As you might expect, that hurts quite a bit if you get hit by it, so. Ow. That particular move is kind of frustrating. Like, you might have noticed when he activated it, you could see like little blue lines coming out before the explosions happen. You're supposed to be able to dodge it if you're out of the way of the blue lines, but sometimes it just doesn't work, and I don't really know why. Anyway, there's Dracula. Beat him again. Beat him again. See you later, dude. Morning sun has vanquished the horrible night, sucker. The pink sun has vanquished the horrible night. Mo-like. Yeah, 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 yeah. Alright, what do we get? Skull ring. That's pretty lame, actually. Alright, well that's gonna be it. I hope y'all enjoyed this. As I've said numerous times, I love this game. Happy to play it. Happy to play it anytime y'all want to see it. But that's gonna be all for tonight. We might try to start Nancy on Thursday. Because it seems like people are interested in seeing that. Either that or we'll be back on Dark Cloud 2. One of those two. So I hope you'll come and contribute that. I am the MoeChicken. This has been Castlevania Harmony of Despair. And thank you for stopping by.